Well, there's a lot happening every day when it comes to the impact of AI.
ABC7 Mornings anchor Amanda del Castillo discussed the headlines and what they mean for all of us with the CEO and president of AI Squared, Darren Kimura. First up, balancing innovation versus job creation.
A lot of those jobs will be replaced by things like robots, autonomous factories, distribution centers that are in the dark, for example. So, first of all, these technologies are being deployed broadly across every one of these large publicly traded companies today. I think it's really important for our human workers to begin thinking about how do they upskill themselves as we move into this new AI agentic future.
Yeah, okay, so that's, difficult trying to compare yourself on how you can kind of elevate yourself in that space. And Amazon also just cut 14,000 jobs. How does Amazon justify kind of these layoffs while claiming AI will be creating new opportunities as well?
It's definitely a changing environment. I think that, there was a serious amount of overhiring perhaps from the COVID, pandemic periods of time, which is now being rebalanced by the deployment of AI and maybe not even AI, but more autonomy or, automation in these environments. Now, I also think that there will be a time in the near future where that'll rebalance itself back out, and some of these jobs do come back.
Okay.
But you see this correction now, the pendulum is swinging the other way, and companies are perhaps overcorrecting from that overhiring period of time.
Okay, so that was going to be a question. Is this a sign of AI consolidation or a warning about overhiring when we saw that during the pandemic? So you're saying maybe the overhiring aspect of it.
Definitely overhiring. I think there's a lot of optimism about some of the new technologies and tools that are coming as well. And once the reality begins setting in about what these technologies can actually do and how deep they actually go, and perhaps how far out we are from having true autonomy, many of these jobs, I think, will come back.
Okay, and we're also talking about these jobs. Let's see, Meta. They just laid off, 600 AI employees while still hiring for elite AI teams. What is your take on that?
Yeah, I think Meta is a very interesting situation because they have tried AI over different iterations across, the last 5-7 years. So they have different teams stood up. And what you're beginning to see now is a strategy coming together where the teams are becoming fused as one. So as a result of that, you're seeing redundancies being eliminated. You're seeing some of the infrastructure that they once had as a separate team now becoming part of the superintelligence team. So it's really more of a more efficient operating environment for them.
Okay, and it sounds competitive. How do you stand out? Because here we are also knowing that OpenAI has launched its own browser. And so in the face of Chrome, Firefox, how does this play a part in all of that?
Yeah, I think that's a really cool innovation. I mean, if you think about the way we interact with applications these days, a lot of it is done through the web browser. So, OpenAI's new browser called Atlas and previous to this Perplexity launched one called Comet, that brings AI directly into the browsing experience. So it helps you be more efficient. Things like if you're booking a flight or renting a car, being able to fill in that information automatically, and if you wanted to, it can actually just go ahead and make the booking for you. So it just kind of speeds things up. It also remembers things that you were doing before. So the tabs that you open, it'll be there.
Okay.
So I think the future is going to definitely be more AI in these browsers.
Okay. And another big news story this month, both AWS and Azure are experiencing major outages. Are we just too dependent on these cloud services?
First of all, yes, absolutely. AWS and a week after Azure went down, and that impacted a lot of the applications that we use, even communication applications. I think one of the things we're realizing just as society is how dependent we are with one provider or even our supply chain. Like maybe it's not your organization, but perhaps it's something that you rely on and how dependent they are. So this is now changing the way we think about selecting our providers, our tools, making sure that they have redundancy, that they're not only dependent on one cloud, but maybe have multiple redundant clouds to ensure that we provide the high availability that's needed to keep our services running.
And I'm certain that people are working on that right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so give us some good news as we end here. A little bit of optimism in the space of AI.
So I think this is a great time. I mean, if you think about the information that's available for AI, TikTok, so much of this stuff is available as shorts. If you're, you're scrolling at night, maybe look up artificial intelligence, machine learning, get a little bit of understanding about what those technologies are. Beyond that, there's free tools out there. Coursera offers a whole bunch of things that you can use to retrain, retool. LinkedIn has certificates on artificial intelligence, all free. So this is an incredible time for us to get smarter, to retrain, upskill.
Well, to see more interviews like this one, you can watch ABC7 at 7. It streams live weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. Just download the ABC7 News Bay Area app.